Hello, friends. Professor Pete here, the Gold Caller, the Gold Call Coach, and creator of the Gold Call Script Builder Kit. Figured I'd give you a quick introduction as to what the Gold Call is all about, what's its purpose, why did I create it, and then take you on a quick tour of the Gold Call Script Builder Kit itself so that you can begin to put the words together in the right place yourself so that you can master the introduction you give of yourself to a prospect over the phone in the opening seconds of any cold call you make. We're talking about a lesson in spontaneity here. If you can catch somebody's attention instantly, you are going to make great inroads with your career and any of your future business dealings, that's for sure. See, the problem is that if you hesitate to ask the tough questions that might get you a negative answer, you're working on the wrong end of the sales problem. Your problem is first impressions and the people that perceive you. Instantly, they decide to pay attention or not, and we've got to overcome that predisposal to dismissal that most prospects have. So, how do we do that? Well, when I was making cold calls, again, I felt a lot of pressure trying to justify my call with prospects, and no sooner did I get started that they wanted me to end. They weren't interested in my company or my product or how well we made our product or who buys our product and so on and so forth. Today we live in a world of people who are only interested in what's in it for them, and you better strike the chord right away or you're going to present yourself as being irrelevant, and that's not a good thing. So, how do we get there? How do we get from point A to point B in a straight line in a conversation with a sales prospect that lands a new meeting inside of a 4-minute phone call? How are we going to do that? Well, the first thing you want to do, now that you've gotten your instructions, is to click on the log on button up here. And once this pops up, you put in your login information, and then we head on over to the course itself. Running through this thing, so I gotta have a little latency with the connection, but thanks for being patient. All right, you click on My Kit, and here's where things start, okay? My Kit, right? Now, we have 6 modules here. Over the years that I've been making calls to prospects, I recorded the calls, okay? Did a lot of analysis. What can I do to change the sound of my voice, my tonality, my voice inflection, my articulation, my use of the English language, proper vocabulary and grammar, and how can I squeeze this thing down into a quick introduction on the phone every time a prospect picks up my cold call. Well, we start over here with this section, Build Your Gold Call. Now, there are some recordings here that I have, recorded to help you understand what we're trying to do. We're trying to parse our dialogue in a syntax, a series of steps, so that we're in complete control of the conversation. We control how it starts and we control how it finishes and everything in between. When we're the first to ask a question, we control the course and direction of that conversation. So these audio recordings here, you will hear my narration of each of the 5 compartments that make up the Gold Call Framework, a catalyst for conversation. Just beneath that, we have download assembly instructions, a complete booklet with pictures and graphics and examples that you can follow in order to simplify what it is that you're saying to prospects so that you get the benefit of the doubt. That's the best you can hope for on any cold call. So you download the assembly instructions, and also there's a workbook and also the script builder tool itself with rules of engagement on the sidebar. I'm with you every step of the way. All right? We're going to make this simple. The most important thing you can do is to come up with a lemonade statement for your business. 10 words or less. That's all the time you have with any prospect. 10 words or less. I do the following things for the following people for the following reason. A cold drink for thirsty people. All right. So once you get through these recordings, then we can take a look at some of the other reinforcement tutorials that I've created for you. Now, I have met with countless hundreds of salespeople from around the world as we've worked one-on-one to create and execute a Gold Call script for their business. So you can hear those right here, recorded Gold Call coaching sessions with other Gold Callers. Why take my word for it? Then we have something special here. This is one of my favorite modules for the Gold Call Script Builder Kit, and that's Gold Call CSI. All right, a forensic analysis of recorded conversations with real sales prospects on the phone. So what I did is I recorded the conversation, booking a new appointment to the calendar, and then what I did is I break down the screenplay dialogue exchange that my prospect and I had in order to get that new appointment booked to the calendar. So each recording comes with an autopsy report as I dissect word by word, question by question, everything that went into that gold call with that particular prospect. But wait, there's more. I have a podcast that lasts maybe, 5-6 minutes or whatever. And we've got a podcast library of recorded gold calls with real sales prospects in just about every sales scenario you could possibly imagine. And I provide an analysis. The prospect said this, I said that, the prospect answered this, so I asked him that, okay? So follow the bouncing ball in order to put your words in the right place, in the right order, and say them the right way for maximum effect. Another one of my favorites here is some of you are out there calling and you do get the gatekeeper. Now, I don't call gatekeepers that often because I do get data that gives me the phone numbers and whatnot. But when I did make a call and got the gatekeeper, I decided to interview them and provide an analysis of the interaction that a gatekeeper and I had over the phone, to expose their tricks of the trade and to really explain once and for all that the gatekeeper is not really the friend you think he or she is. Now, once you've come to an understanding of the gold call script, you should see it as a catalyst for conversation. If you're having trouble getting started and getting people to pay attention to you and answer your questions, then the best way to start a conversation is to be the first person to ask the question, all right? So I'm hoping that this platform, with all of its tutorials that you see here, will help reinforce your confidence to speak without the fear of retribution. When you know the shot, what's there to fear? When you know that you're hoping for 10 seconds to explain the call, you do the following things for the following people for the following reason, but hey, wait a second, I don't suppose you have anything to do with XYZ, and if there was anything that I might do to solve a problem for XYZ, would I get any of your attention? Now, that's a tough question for most open-minded people to lay off of. See, that's the key. Got to stop asking for demos and presentations and a meeting with my sales manager and whatnot, okay? They're not going to go for that. You're in the response business today. You've got to entice people to share information, and then, with an objective mind, you can decide whether this is a qualified prospect or something that's really not worth much of your time. Okay? All right. Well, I'm going to wish you the best of luck with your gold calling adventures. Remember, I'm here to help, so drop me a note if there's anything that I can do to move things along. But most importantly, when you subscribe to the Gold Caller Script Builder Kit, send me that lemonade statement for your business. Let me take a look at it and get a recording out to you as to how I think it ought to sound to your sales prospects. How's that sound? All right, well, that's it for now. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for the privilege of your attention today. And until our paths cross again, happy hunting.